every day and every week, we are seeing evidences that the Omega that was prophesied by Sister White is here within the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We are told once again from volume 1 of Selected Messages, 204, 215, that there will be a new organization created within the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We're talking about the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, as it was during the time of the Jews, the Pharisees, that have rejected the truth and have embraced a new organization and was in alliance, in relationship with Rome, pagan Rome at the time. Similarly, we are experiencing the same problem. As we looked at last time, we saw how our hymnals have been changed and they have inserted Catholic theme there. Mary is being worshipped, and even the Son, S-U-N, is also being worshipped in our hymn. As the hymn says, when I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, that is a Catholic theme, that is part of the ecumenical movement. And when did that happen? As we mentioned last time, this happened when the General Conference signed the BEM, or the Baptism, Eucharist, and Ministry, to be part of the ecumenical body. And as a result of that, they have taken down our logo. And as we showed you last time, our logo looked very similar to many other Freemason logo, to logo from the Muslim, Pepsi, or Coca-Cola. Even Joel Osteen himself has a similar logo, Pantene Pro V, and all of these pagan logos that we have been seeing out there. And again, that logo is none other than Baal, the Baal logo. It is Baal that is being exalted. And even if you look at within that logo, the flickery flame, this is a Eucharist disc in a form of a globe that you find inserted in there. You can't see it because they hide it, but when you see the curve there with the three wavy lines, you can tell that there is something in there. Plus, you have the upside down cross, an inverted cross, which represent the Antichrist. And as we showed you last time, even the papacy has a throne with an upside down cross, and even some satanic group, they have that same inverted cross who is being worshipped there. It's Lucifer, and that inverted cross represents their victory over Jesus Christ. But this was prophesied. Go to the book of Psalm with me. Psalm chapter 74. This was prophesied that our logo, our sign, was going to be taken down by the enemy of soul. Notice carefully. In Psalm chapter 74, verse 1, the Bible says, God, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doth thine anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember, notice, thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the right of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed. This Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelled. Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy have done. Where? Wickedly in the sanctuary. What did they do? Thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. The word ensign there is similar, is synonymous with logo. They set up their signs for signs. That means they have taken down our signs, our logo, and they have put up their own logo. That's exactly what we have now. Notice, skip on down to verse 7. They have cast fire into thy sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thine name to the ground. Again, keep Acts chapter 2 in mind. Fire there in Acts chapter 2. Then also keep the account with Elijah and the false prophets of Baal when they were praying. And remember, the contest was over the God that answered by fire is the true God. Did God answer by fire? Yes. Keep also Revelation chapter 13, verses 12, 13, and 14. and he deceiveth them by the means of those miracles which he was able to do in the sight of the beast. And he caused fire to come down from heaven in the sight of the beast and caused many to worship the image of the beast. False revival. That's what the fire there in chapter 13 of Revelation is about. False revival. It's a counterfeit revival of what Elijah did or what God did on Mount Carmel. And the fire, which was a representative, which was a symbol of the Holy Spirit that the disciple experienced in Acts chapter 2. This is what we have here. And that fire here, as they have taken our logo down, that fire is that new organization. When they took that logo down, it was a new organization, a new revival. It is a Roman Catholic ministry now, the General Conference. Notice carefully with me. Goes on to say, verse 7 again, they have cast fire into thy sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. They said in their heart, let us do what? Destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land. Notice, we see not our signs. What is that again? Our logo. There is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth. How long? So they have done what? They have cast down our signs. They have removed our logo. God had already prophesied this was going to happen. Now, as a result of casting down our logo, we have opened the door now for ecumenical movement. We can shake hands with the papacy. We can do everything. Also, Sister White prophesied that this was going to happen. Notice carefully on the screen what it says there. A company was presented before me under the name of what? Seventh-day Adventists. Let's pause. Under the name Seventh-day Adventists. Meaning they're not really Seventh-day Adventists, but they carry the name Seventh-day Adventists. Just like the General Conference trademarked the name Seventh-day Adventists, so they can carry it legally and go after anyone who tries to carry the name Seventh-day Adventists. They are not Adventists, yet they have the name Seventh-day Adventists on their buildings. Notice, a company was presented before me under the name Seventh-day Adventists, who were advising that the banner, what is it? Or sign, that's the logo, which makes us a distinctive people, should not be held out so strikingly. That means the three angels logo should not be held so strikingly. Let's take it down. That's what we just read in Psalm chapter 74. Notice. For they claim it was not the best policy in securing success to our institutions. This distinctive banner, what is it? This distinctive banner is to be born till when? Through the world to the close of probation. In describing the remnant people of God, John says, here is, notice where that banner, that logo, the three angels logo come from. Revelation chapter 14 verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that do what? Keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ. So Revelation chapter 14 verse 12 tells us that's the banner we should carry. Psalm chapter 74 tells us they have removed our logo, our banner. Sister White says in these last days they were going to do this. A group represented under the name of Seventh-day Adventists. They trademarked the name Seventh-day Adventists, but they are not Seventh-day Adventists. And they have taken down our banner, our logo. And so as a result, we can be an alliance. We cannot even sing Roman Catholic song in Latin that they sing not only for the Pope, but at every Mass. Want me to show you this? Notice carefully with me. This is the title for that song there. Laudate omnes gentes. Laudate Dominum. This is again a song that they are about to sing for the Pope as the Pope is coming up their so-called altar, their devil altar, and they are welcoming him. Notice carefully. Now, very clearly, we see that that song that the Roman Catholic Church sings is to honor the Pope, to honor the Mass. Keep in mind what the Mass is about. The Mass is not about the celebration of the life of Christ. The Mass is about the celebration of killing Jesus over and over and over again on their altar. Now, notice the next headline here. This is from Advent Messenger. A general conference executive sings the what? The traditional Roman Catholic song for what? For Mass in Latin. And who is this again? This is Diop Ganoune or Ganoune Diop. Now, you tell me if this is a wolf in sheep clothing. Now, Elder Wilson, Mark Finley, will never come out and say anything contrary or going after Ganoune Diop. Why? Because they are the one who sent Ganoune Diop there in ecumenical movement. Notice carefully with me. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of what? Cain. And what else? And ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward. And what else? Perish in the gainsaying of Kor. That is Korah. These men are calling a people to Babylon, to join Babylon. Whatever happened to the gospel of Jesus Christ? These men within the General Conference, all of them are Jesuits. Notice carefully with me. Signs of the Times, February 19, 1894. It is a what? A backsliding church that does what? That lessen the distance between itself and who else? And the papacy. It is what kind of church again? A backsliding church that lessen its distance between itself and the papacy. If we are truly Seventh-day Adventists, there is absolutely no way we will be meeting with Catholic priests, singing Catholic hymn in Latin, a song that is dedicated to not only honor the Pope, but their victory over Jesus at every Mass. Now, I'm going to play for you Diop Ganoune now, singing that song. Notice carefully. Where was he when he was singing that song? This was at an ecumenical gathering. It sounds like a mass. As a matter of fact, you notice what they were holding as they were singing that song? It seems like there's a picture there of someone or something or a statue with a halo, which represents sun god. How do you feel comfortable if you were really a Seventh-day Adventist, standing there singing a Catholic hymn, honoring the Pope, and a song that they sing at Mass to show their victory over Jesus Christ? Now notice, here are some monks now that are singing that song, Laudate omnes gentes, Laudate Dominum. Brothers and sisters, you tell me, is that the Omega of apostasy? And you also tell me, is that the Seventh-day Adventist Church conference that we are supposed to honor, to turn our ties? Brothers and sisters, come on now. We're supposed to be the smartest people on the face of the planet. Notice carefully. Again, the same song is being played and sing at Mass. Notice. That is the exact same song that Diop Ganoune was singing with his friend. Notice carefully. Remember last time we showed you this priest, that wherever he goes, Diop Ganoune follow. Notice carefully as he was speaking there and Diop Ganoune listening attentively. Then that was followed by the Mass, by the singing of that song. Notice.
Of which we cannot see the end. By paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Why don't we repeat that, this time in Spanish, so that you get a double blessing. Señor Dios, tú has llamado a tus siervos a empresas cuyo fin no alcanzamos a ver, y por sendas aún sin transitar, y por peligros aún desconocidos. Concédenos fe para marchar adelante con valor, aún sin saber a dónde vamos, pero seguros de que tu mano nos conduce y tu amor nos sostiene. Por Jesucristo nuestro Señor. Amén.
The Seventh-day Adventist General Conference, as Sister White had prophesied, has become a sister to Babylon. Notice carefully on the screen from Special Testimony Series B, number 2, page 16. Be not deceived. Many will depart from what? From the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and what else? Doctrines of devils. We have now before us the alpha of this danger. The omega will what? Will be of a most startling nature. Then she also says here in the book Living Temple, there is presented the alpha of what? Deadly heresies. The omega will follow and will be received by those, notice carefully, who are not willing to heed the warning God has given. The majority of Seventh-day Adventists don't want to hear that warning. As a matter of fact, they are attacking me right now for exposing these things. You go on Facebook and other places, they are attacking me for exposing these things, going into my personal life. But brothers and sisters, as long as God gives me breath, I will continue to proclaim the third angel's message, which, as I mentioned before, has twofold, as spiritual prophecy tells us. It is to call a people out of Babylon, but the first part of that, it is to expose the deception, the enemy within our ranks. Paul says in Acts chapter 20, from among you shall grievous rove arise, and not sparing the flock. Instead of calling a people out of Babylon, they taking the flock back to Babylon, into that mess. Brothers and sisters, again, as the 144,000, they were self-supported. I'm going to keep saying this. Read it carefully. They were self-supported. They follow whom again? Jesus Christ. As John the Baptist pointed to Jesus, he was telling the disciples, this is the one you should follow. John the Baptist started his ministry and he had these men and women following him. Then he says, no, now my ministry is over. This is the one. Here is the Lamb of God that does what? That taketh away the sins of the world. Let us follow Jesus, not in organization and not in men. God bless you.